Welcome to episode 559 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says,
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Nice.
Yes. I'm feeling very sandy this week, going into next.
Why?
Well, okay, so last weekend, on Sunday, I went and I saw the 40th anniversary of David Lynch's Dune.
Yes.
A movie I have not seen in a movie theater in 40 years. So, and then today I watched Dune Part 1 to get ready for Dune Part 2 next week.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
that's why you're feeling sandy.
That's why I'm feeling sandy, yes. But let me tell you, seeing Dune, like David Lynch's Dune, the 1984 Dune, on the big screen again, was very nostalgia filled.
Was it?
It was, because like it's one of those things that like it's like a very vivid memory for me.
Okay.
Going to see that movie, because it was like me, you, your mom,
Yep.
Uncle John, my dad, Pap Coon, Aunt Bonnie. You know, like, it was a big group of us that went to go see that. And I remember my dad, your mom, Aunt Bonnie, and Pap all talking about how fantastic it was and how they interpreted Paul's dreams and the inner dialogues and everything. And me, you, and Uncle John, who didn't read Dune, came out of that movie going, what the fuck did we just see?
Right.
We were so confused. And it's that thing of like, years later after having read the books, having watched multiple versions of, like, I can fill in all the blanks.
Okay.
Like, you know, like I go into it now and it makes sense because I know everything I need to know.
Right.
But it was still like sitting in a movie theater and having that come up on the screen. It took me back to being, you know, like 11.
Sure.
And seeing that and like that feeling of like I knew what I was seeing was impressive. Like the special effects, especially with the sandworms, was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, and even now, like some of the special effects, like when they're flying around and stuff, it doesn't hold up. But like you look at it, you go, ooh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But like the sandworms still look phenomenal. But it was just kind of like there was like a moment in the movie where I just kind of like I was like looked around myself and I saw us all there.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I saw it in Monroeville too. I mean, when we saw it, it was down at Showcase East. You know, I'm watching it at Monroeville Mall, but I still felt a little bit like, you know, I'm close enough to sacred ground.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of that. And like it was like a version, like it kind of pissed me off because it added stuff in, but it took some stuff out, and I was like, because that line I opened up the movie with, I know. Now the problem becomes, I've seen so many different versions of that movie coupled with like the sci-fi version of Dune, coupled with the new Dune, coupled with having just read the book. I've got them all jumbled in my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact there's a fight that takes place in the book and in all the other movies except for the version I watched last Sunday, where Paul fights one of the Fremen, like right at the beginning, like after they're exiled, so to speak, and they come to the Fremen. And the one's like, yeah, no, we're not taking them in. Their waters, we don't need their water, you know, or something. I can't remember. And he was like, and Paul fights this guy, and the guy says, "May your knife chip and shatter." Mm. And then later on, at the end of the movie, when Paul's fighting Fade, Paul says, "May your knife chip and shatter."
Yeah,
it was like you know, and I was like. And he doesn't say it in that version. I'm like, why would they have taken it out of that? That's like so cool.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. 101 versions of that fucking movie. Like people complain like Blade Runner's got so many different director's cuts and versions. Like let me introduce you to Dune, 1984.
Yeah.
That thing has been cut and recut and cut again. But I enjoyed the shit out of it. You know, it's a horrible movie, but it's like it means I don't know why it means so much to me. Because it's a horrible fucking movie, but like I guess at this point, like I'm like my dad, Aunt Bonnie, and Pap Coon, like I'm filling in the blanks now.
Right.
And by filling in the blanks, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Right.
But you know what I mean, like you having never read the books.
Right.
Having never, if you sat down and watched that movie today, you're probably like, I still don't know what the fuck is going on in this thing.
All right.
You know, I don't care how much you tell me. I got, so I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm looking forward to seeing part 2 and seeing how that does.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Way to fill it in while I'm taking a sip of Red Bull.
It's
Good
fine.
job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Been hiking,
Yeah.
walking. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Life's pretty boring. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Not at all. But, yeah, just doing that. Dieting.
Yeah.
So, it's my life. Haven't had a Mountain Dew in
Quite some time.
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Now, I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, I know, like, the diet you're on is specialized and stuff. Like even like going like with like a sugar free or a diet dew. That's no good.
No. I can have like Gatorade Zero.
Okay.
Not Gatorade, Powerade Zero.
Okay.
That's about all I can have. I mean, I can have tea and coffee and water.
Right.
But almond milk, with,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Extremely low carb,
Yeah.
low fat,
Right.
just the essential saturated fats and stuff. So
Yeah.
lean.
Like even in like your water. Like I used to buy these like flavor packets.
Yeah, I can put those in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as there's no sugar in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could put whatever I want in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that's something like
But it's hardly any carbs.
yeah.
Like my meals consist of not really any carbs at all.
Yeah. All meat.
It's not all meat. It's meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
There's a list. I have to weigh things out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I can eat meat. I just like tuna. I think it's
Unseasoned chicken.
no seasoning's not a problem.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have sugar in it.
Right.
So I can add salt, garlic, pepper.
Yeah.
Like I made tuna tonight.
Right.
And I can have, I think 6.5 to 7 ounces. That's a lot of tuna.
Yeah.
It's more than you think.
No, I agree. Like,
That's a lot. Chicken's about the same way.
Yeah.
But, so I had tuna, and then measured out my lettuce.
Yeah.
I had, I can have a cup of lettuce, half a cup of tomatoes,
Yeah.
tuna, and then my fats I can add in 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then I added some egg whites for extra protein because I walked today. So, I mean, I needed some protein.
Yeah.
But, and I can have whole eggs. I mean, you can have regular eggs too, but I eat egg whites. But yeah, that was my meal. So I made like a tuna salad. I had some lettuce and tomatoes and stuff like that. But yeah, but everything's measured. You can have 3 healthy greens. If you wanted to make, I don't know, cucumbers, tomato, and whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can use olive oil.
Yeah.
To cook your food in and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I'm eating well.
Yeah.
I mean, very healthy.
Right.
But like I said, it's so low carb. I mean, you're hardly eating any carbs at all.
Yeah.
Now I have supplements. That was my one meal. Like I eat one meal a day. Now if I was working out, which I'm considering going to the gym, because it's like the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's like a sedentary type of diet.
Yeah.
To get your body acclimated. And then once you go, it's a 5-in-1 plan. That's what it's called. So you have 5 meals during the day, snacks like there's brownie kits and that kind of shit.
Right.
Shakes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get one meal like I had tonight.
Right.
Per day.
Yeah.
Now, if you're working out and you're exercising and stuff like that, it switches to a 4 and 2. So you're actually having 4 snacks, 4 bars or whatever they send in the box,
and then 2 actual meals.
And then 2 actual meals.
Right.
The green meals.
Right.
So, but it's helped me. I mean, I'm eating peppers now. I still can't digest cucumbers very well. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. It's just something about the taste. But tomatoes, peppers, green beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm eating a lot of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's working. So
good.
I think last year I weighed like 290.
Yeah.
It's the heaviest I've ever been. And 290 last year. And I think I scaled in it. Now, all of that wasn't just the plan, because I've only been on the plan I may have lost 15 pounds on the plan.
Yeah.
Just a lot of water weight as well.
Right.
But, and you have to drink like 80 ounces of water a day.
Yeah.
But I clocked in at like 257.
Yeah.
So
like drinking that much water, it's like any diet. Like they always like.
Yeah.
It's like, a gallon of water a day.
Well, it helps you flush your system.
Yeah.
And helps the digestive process. And,
right.
Get things out. So, yeah, it's pretty clean now. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. It's hard to eat 5 meals though, man. Oh, man. Not meals. I mean, it's even hard for me to eat 5 snacks.
Yeah.
Because I have to eat one tonight. Like, here in about an hour and a half. Because you should really fuel like every 2.5 to 3 hours.
Right.
But like I'm eating so much like during the day between shakes and, do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I'm not used to eating that much. So that gigantic fucking salad I had today was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm full. I'm so full. I'm full all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it's working. So, and I've seen people lose weight on it.
Right.
I mean, drastic weight.
Right.
So, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Ian's getting healthy. We're going to have to get a theme made for that.
Yeah.
Ian's getting healthy.
Just put on the getting strong now.
Eating up that salad.
It's not all salads.
Yeah,
I personally like salads.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But, I mean, for me.
Right.
I can eat a salad every, this. I can eat a salad every day of my life. But there's a shit ton of recipes you can. There's a shit ton of recipes that you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually taste good. I've had them.
Right.
I mean, and you can bread chicken with almond flour, or you can bread it with like Parmesan cheese.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it comes out crispy and like really good.
Right.
And we cooked in an air fryer.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of recipes that you can have that actually have a lot of food in it.
Yeah.
Like the lean proteins, like for instance, eggs, egg whites, and tuna.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking tuna. In your egg white consumption, you can consume like a whole ton of eggs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Egg whites.
Right.
You can have regular eggs too, but it starts cutting down on how many you can have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's a whole lot of recipes you can have. And the snacks aren't that bad. They're actually decent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like the old days of, shitty granola bars.
Yeah.
They're not that. I mean, they're actually pretty good. There's no nuts in any of the shit that I'm eating.
Right.
That's good.
I mean, as we found out, you
break out.
Yeah.
And I know. So we'll see. Like, I know this sounds funny, but the other day I had chicken meatballs.
Yeah.
And broccoli.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That was my leaning green.
Right.
Like I got a lot of broccoli.
Right.
It was like 3/4 of a cup of broccoli. It was
right.
But I can add in 2 tablespoons of butter as my fat.
Right.
So that helped with the broccoli portion of it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, you have to balance the cookbook, and that's my goal. I'm going to destroy this cookbook.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know my spices and what tastes good and
right.
what's free spices and not. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna learn how to make some really good meals out of it.
Good for you.
Versus, plain Jane salads all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. All right, enough about me.
The other thing I watched this week was Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix live action remake of that.
Right. How was that?
I really enjoyed it. Now, I mean, it's 8 episodes, and each episode's averages between 45 and 50 minutes.
Right.
If I recall correctly, the original series, I believe, were 22 episodes.
Right.
But they were half-hour episodes, but still, they were tight half-hour episodes. And can you fit everything into the series? No, you can't. And they weren't trying to. I thought they did a good job of kind of telling a story.
Right.
Using all that information and kind of taking it and going, okay, what's the best thing we can do to make this work? And they made a nice 8-episode series, I thought. Now, the biggest thing to me, my favorite character, and I think a lot of people's favorite character, a beloved character, was Uncle Iroh.
Okay.
Who is...
Iroh or Iroh?
Iroh.
Okay.
He was the uncle to the... He's not the villain, but he is at this moment. It's tough to explain. Uh-huh. But anyway, I went to... Uncle Iroh was in the series, in the cartoon.
Right.
Was a fantastic character who, like... It's tough to explain, but he was like the character that, when everything else was going wrong, be like, let's have some tea.
Nice.
He had the big bushy beard and everything. He was like your typical anime uncle.
Right.
Who was wise beyond his years and was passing on that wisdom through the oddest way possible.
Okay.
Well, he's being played in the live action version by Paul Sun-Hung Lee.
Okay.
Now, you'll know the guy as the TIE fighter pilot the X-Wing fighter pilot from The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Okay, that guy.
Yeah.
He's done...
Older chap.
He's an older gentleman, yes.
Yeah.
But he's a very good actor. And, I'm watching him in this, and I was just... Because it was one of my big concerns was man, Uncle Iroh is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And that guy came on the screen and owned it from minute 1.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, this guy's good.
He's good?
Yeah.
Nice.
He figured it out quick.
Right.
And it's one of those things where as I'm watching it, I was so happy they got him right. Because it would have been easy to kind of take that character and either make him too goofy or too serious.
Right.
And the actor found the that middle ground to make that character work perfectly.
Right. Okay.
And I was very happy, and I that was like the highlight of the show for me was his portrayal of Uncle Iroh.
Really?
Yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah.
You want now? How many? This is a show.
This is a TV show. Yeah, it's 8 episodes.
Right.
This was only the first season, obviously. So, I hope it gets a season 2. I hope Netflix is committed to it. I know, Nickelodeon's a partner with it because it was, the cartoon was originally on Nickelodeon. It was their production.
Right.
The great Dave Filoni actually worked the first, I think, 2 seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender before he went over to the Lucasfilm.
Oh, okay.
So, I've always said, I think you should watch the cartoon. I think even though it's children, it plays very adult themes.
Okay.
It's one of those cartoons that, it's meant for, a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old maybe. But it plays adult, and it's something you'd be able to watch together, and as an adult, you wouldn't be like, oh, I can't believe I'm watching this. This is horrible. You know what I mean?
Right.
This would be something that you could sit there and you could both enjoy because it does a very good job of playing the role serious. Now, I can hear Thad right now stomping his feet because I won't watch Percy Jackson, but I'm watching this, which is basically children trying to save the world.
Right.
And I'll say this to you, Thad. I watched the cartoon first, so I have an investment already. I haven't seen anything with Percy Jackson ever, so I have no investment. Before you start writing the angry letter right now, I have an investment with this show already.
Okay.
So, but I could hear it already. I could hear Thad angrily typing how what an asshole I am for not watching his beloved Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson.
Yeah. You take your Percy Jackson, shine it up real nice, turn that son of a bitch sideways, and stick it straight up your candy ass.
Right.
But anyway, I will say, no matter whether you watched the show or the original cartoon or you didn't, I do recommend this show. Now, if you have watched the original cartoon, don't expect a one-for-one translation of it.
Okay.
Okay, because you're not going to get it. But what you do get is a very good translation of that show, those characters. I thought they did a very good job of portraying Aang. I thought they, there's a lot of high points to the show. I thought I'm looking forward to where it goes from here.
Right.
But I hope it gets a chance to go forward from here. I hope Netflix gives it a shot. But you never know with Netflix.
True.
Yeah. But I'm glad I watched it, and I would highly recommend it to anybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I bought new shoes.
Nice.
Yeah. Old man shoes.
I got some hiking boots.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a pair of Skechers slip-ons.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided if I'm going to be an old man, I might as well take the full plunge.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is amazing. I went to Dunham's. Dunham's is supposed to be a discount store. Now, don't get me wrong. I got these shoes discounted. They were originally $95. I got them for $60.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe they were $95. I'm like, you're going to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
Who's paying $95 for these things?
Yeah.
But, $60 I'm still, flabbergasted by. But, my original idea was, cause I made an appointment to get my brakes done on my car. I got the car registered. I got myself a haircut. I did all these adult things. I'm going to splurge a little bit. I'm going to get myself a little something. So I go to Dunham's to buy myself a hat.
Okay.
And it had some really nice hats. There was a nice Steeler hat I really wanted.
Uh-huh.
$37.95.
That's sick.
I said, thank you, but no thank you. I can't justify that.
Not a $37 hat.
No. I mean, and it was a nice hat, but not that fucking nice.
Yeah, hats shouldn't be that expensive to where you don't want to wear them out.
Yeah.
And get rained on and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it was like a legit NFL, on field gear hat, and I like those. Like, I mean, this is a nice hat too.
Right.
You would have looked at it and said, "That's a nice hat.
Yeah.
I like that." But like, I just wasn't going to drop $37 for it.
Right.
I can't justify that in my head.
Right. I hear you.
Like, fuck. And then I went bought myself the Skechers because I'm getting old. Yeah. Sean, like 20 years ago, would have been like, yeah, $37 for a hat, no problem.
Yeah.
Sean today is like, good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for any kind of hat.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, jeez, ow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. And I was at Dunham's. Like, I'm expecting to be like discounted. Like,
Yeah, their gear isn't really discounted very good.
No.
Not their like professional gear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their other stuff is, but not their gear.
Like, even the shoes. I mean, like I spent $60 on these. They were discounted. So I saved $35 on my shoes. But like, still, like, I don't know. Maybe the problem is I should be shopping at Walmart and getting myself a pair of Shaq shoes.
There you go.
Because like my expectation of what shoes should cost, like it's not matching what I'm paying.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to me, like, I should be able to walk in there, like, find like a good pair of like $40 shoes.
Right.
That say Nike.
Right.
Or Reebok, or no, like, those were like still like $95. Like, but so I'm like, man, I'm getting old.
I hear you, brother.
This is a problem.
It's funny.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Slip-ons.
Yeah. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they are.
Yeah.
I wear slip-ons at work.
Yeah. I mean, if they're good enough for Tony Romo, they're good enough for me.
Yeah.
And while I'm thinking about it, we've picked up a new listener.
Okay.
The Max Rebo Experience is what they go by on Twitter.
Nice.
And I want to know if they are having any sort of blood feud with Finger and Dan.
Okay.
From Mos Eisley's Cantina.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you remember correctly from your days in Star Wars Card Trader.
Yeah. Finger and Dan.
Yeah. Do you not like good jizz?
What?
That's what they call. That's what the music called. I know what you're thinking. I know what that's thinking. But the music that Finger and Dan plays is called Jizz.
Wow.
Jizz.
Who fucked up at Lucasfilm?
George. I think that's what he called it.
Nice.
But it's like it's supposed to be like jazz, but we're calling it Jizz. Like, I don't know what you were thinking in 1976, George, but wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Smooth Jizz with Finger and Dan.
Right. It's the soundtrack to Deep Throat.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Holy hell.
But what's funny is like on Twitter, one of the things I always post like every other day is like it's this ridiculous tweet, but it always gets a little bit of traction. When we dare you take the 3-episode challenge. Give us a listen for 3 episodes and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Well, my expectation when it's like you listen to our most recent 3 episodes. Like this person went back like 2 years to listen to the first episode because it was called Find Kenobi Beard.
Uh-huh.
And we're talking about, the first 2 episodes of Kenobi. And so he's like, but the best part is they're commenting on it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck did we talk about on that episode?
Oh, the Fine Kenobi Beard?
Yeah, because it was like 2 years ago.
Well, we've done so many episodes.
Right, I know. But, like, I actually had to go back, like, look, oh, okay, this. And still, like, there's always, like, some stuff on there, like, I don't mention in, like, the description.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, I can't remember what the episode title was. Oh, it was the one where we talked about, it was the one where I confess I started watching, like all these, like, car YouTube videos, which I still watch.
Yeah.
A lot of. And, there were comments about it. So it's like odd things. It's like, is having to jar my memory of like, fuck, what was that episode about?
Right.
You know, I hope they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
You know, but like I always it was just as funny because my expectation was we could listen to the last 3 episodes we did, and instead this person's like searching the archives for Yeti erotica.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Great Gonzo was a good one, too.
Yeah, that's no longer up there, though.
No?
No, because that was like our first 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I think. Like, that was like episode, I think it may have been episode 10.
Is it gone forever?
I have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to pull, cause now it's easy because what I do is, like, I have, like, you know, the formatted MP3 on the computer, and I just shift it over to a flash drive.
Yeah.
When I like assemble, like, I get like 5 or 6 of them on there, and then I just take them off and put them on the flash drive. That one, because we weren't doing it that way back when we started this podcast over 10 years ago, the way we had to do it, we actually used my phone. Mm-hmm. We had an app with Spreaker that we recorded onto the app using my phone, and we had a I still have the mic. Yeah, it was an iRig microphone. Uh-huh. I still have the microphone, like in case of emergency break glass type of situation.
Yeah.
And so it was funny to me. Well, anyway, no, that wasn't funny. So anyway, so like all those episodes like weren't actually saved onto a computer; they were just immediately uploaded to Spreaker. All right, so that's like we're having some technical difficulties. It looked like.
Johnny, get on that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're talking. I've got the recording program up, but it was like it froze, and so everything we were saying, and then like all of a sudden we like pick up where we're like, I don't know. I guess this is I don't know. It's probably an old computer problem that needs to be fixed soon with a new computer.
All right.
So, I guess we won't get into that then, since I don't want to try to rehash what the conversation was.
Okay.
I hate it when we do that. It never sounds right.
It does.
So I'll get this other story I had for us. So Universal is doing another Jurassic World movie.
Okay. Of course they are.
Of course they are. With Gareth Edwards as the new director.
Okay.
Gareth Edwards is most known for Rogue One.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, it's that thing of, like, with this, I get it. It goes back to that whole, here's a known property. Here's something that everybody knows.
Right.
Everybody loves dinosaurs.
Right.
Even the shittiest of these movies make money. You know what I mean? Like, so I get why they're going to go and bang that drum again.
Right.
But at the same time, it is frustrating because I feel like that franchise should be dead and buried at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, the last movie was so fucking horrible, I didn't even want to talk about it on this show.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
it was a bad one. The one before it wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't great. It had a lot of problems, but it was, like, at least serviceable.
Yeah.
You know, but that last one was just so fucking horrible.
Right.
You know? And I mean, and like, you brought back the old crew, and you got the new crew, and I thought, whoa, how? best of both worlds, and boy, did that fucker just turd.
Yeah, it was bad.
But it made money, like, because people were interested.
Right.
You know? And so it becomes that thing of, like, well, we know we have a property that makes money, and it makes money in more than just being on the screen. Like, we'll sell toys.
Right.
You know, everybody wants a Velociraptor toy. Everybody wants a, you know, whatever the new dinosaur we decide to create is. You know, everyone want that toy. You know, so I get Universal's decision to say, hey, we're going to go back to the well again.
Right.
And we're going to get the guy, you know, who directed Rogue One, because he does this shit really well. So I get that aspect of it, but still, it is like, man, let's just put that thing to bed for a while.
Right.
Like, I think the advantage the first Jurassic World movie had was there had been such a big space and time between that and the last Jurassic Park movie.
Right.
You know, you refreshed it, you brought it back, you did the whole park thing, like you did it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, like, there was enough space in between those movies that there was a little bit of nostalgia feel to it that you felt good about.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there was.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, now you're like, okay, well, we just completed that trilogy. It ended up with a stinky egg, but let's go right back to the well again.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like,
they've been doing this recipe for how long?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the production companies, you know, for decades.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. There's like churn another one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but, like, they do it, like, in everything. Like, horror movies are notorious for that. I mean, like, you know, as great as, like, the original Friday the 13th, and even Friday the 13th Part 2, like, Jason X is bad. You know, how did you get to 10? There are a lot of turns before that.
No, there were.
Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, same thing. Like, you know, the first one's great, the third one's great, the second one, looking back on it, had some things to say. You know,
yeah.
But, like, after that, it really you know, runs downhill fast.
Right.
You know, like, it's, and I'm not, like, trying to pick on horror, but, like, it seems like that's the genre that, like, they go to the well the most on.
Right.
You know, like, that's revive Freddy, that's revive Jason, that's revive, you know, all these characters, and, you know, Michael, you know, that's bring them back and, you know, give them another go.
Yeah.
You know, and it always, like, it seems to, like, for the most part, go poorly.
Yeah.
You know, you reach a point in the story that it starts to no longer make any fucking sense.
Right.
You know, and I feel like it's the same thing, like, with, like, some of these type franchises. But it's funny because there are others, like, you know, we laugh at, like, you know, oh, they're going back to the well again. Well, you know, then there's Mission Impossible. But those are all, like, pretty decent movies.
Yeah, James Bond.
James Bond, yeah. Like, you know, in you know, it's a joke, you know, but the Fast and the Furious.
Right.
You know, like, it is, like, once you become, like, a known IP and, like, you make money, no matter what the product, like when you build that fan base to a point that they're going to go see it no matter what.
Right.
Like, in all honesty, if they make another Halloween movie, you're going to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm the same way with Star Wars. Like, they make another Star Wars movie, no matter what it is, I'm going to go see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the Star Trek, same thing. Like, you know, there's all these franchises, like, no matter how bad it becomes, you still go, like, out of devotion and loyalty.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and at some point, like, you have to kind of say, stop hurting me. Please, stop hurting me.
Right.
But we don't. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just the story's been told so many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, how many more new twists can you possibly put on it? With Jurassic Park,
Yeah, I don't see where... Are you going to go to another island and we're going to start all over again because we've learned our lesson from the second time?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get why they keep redoing them. I don't know. They'll just bury the franchise.
Yeah, and we complain about it. And even the Predator franchise. I went and saw The Predator. I paid money to see that in a theater.
Yeah.
It's one of the few times in my life I thought about asking for my money back. I wanted to go to the manager and say, look, that movie stunk. I've never done this in my life, but I want my money back.
Right.
I can think of maybe 2 other times in my life I've thought about doing that. But yet, when Prey came out, I was right there. And granted, Prey was a fantastic movie.
Right.
But, I was still ooh, the Predator's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was right there. The Alien franchise, they've driven that fucking thing into the ground.
Right.
Ridley Scott's releasing a new one. I'm right there. I haven't even seen a trailer for the motherfucker, and I'm right there.
Nice.
Godzilla.
Yeah, how many Godzillas?
But this Kong x Godzilla, the new Empire, it looks corny as fuck. It looks like a Fast and Furious movie with kaiju. I'm right fucking there. I am right fucking there.
See Kong may waste.
Yeah. He's got a fucking bionic arm.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he's got a big yellow, if you look at pictures, he's like a big yellow, bionic thing that they designed for him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, in the first trailer, when I saw his hand come up out of the sand, I thought it was a fucking bumblebee.
Yeah, why does he need that?
Who knows? It's that thing of they're just gonna get silly, and I don't care. I'm take my money.
Yeah.
Get as silly as you fucking want with these movies. But it is funny when you think about the first 3. You go Godzilla, Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Okay.
They were relatively serious.
Yeah.
They were. Sure, you had... it got... King of the Monsters got a little bit, because you were talking about, the Titans and, King Ghidorah and, everything that was involved with that.
Yeah.
And it got a little kooky. But, overall... Mothra was involved there, too. That was crazy. But, overall, it still had, a relatively, serious tone. They were talking about the balance between, the Titans and humans, and Godzilla represented that balance, and there was all this it had a much deeper meaning, kind of harkening back to the original Godzilla as the warning about what Godzilla -1 was essentially, the warning of man interfering with nature and all that jazz.
Right.
Well, after you get the Godzilla versus Kong, that's just a level of ridiculousness.
Right.
I just got hokey and goofy, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
But so that franchise has jumped the shark, but I don't care.
It has.
But I don't know why though. But it is that thing of we just go back to the same stuff we know because it's safe.
Right.
And it kind of reinforces what we talked about a couple weeks ago with like Nolan talking about like Oppenheimer saving non-franchise movies.
He's always saying something about saving the theaters.
He is. I mean,
Come on. Just let it go.
Yeah, he's a little too full of himself at times.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, but a little too full of himself at times. Yeah. But like, it's still like, no, you really didn't, because I mean, the movie that showed on the other side of you was Barbie, and you know, if that doesn't scream I'm going to be a franchise, I don't know what does.
Right. No, I know.
I mean, Warner Brothers released that specifically to start the Barbie franchise.
Yeah.
You know, they want to have that IP that they can go back to and back to and back to, like Universal's doing with Jurassic World and the Fast and the Furious, and you know, it's. And I'm as guilty as anybody of like, you know, I want to see the continuation of this IP.
Right.
You know. I mean, Dune. I'm hoping Dune turns into a franchise. I'm hoping somebody picks up the reins and does Children of Dune and does Dune Messiah and, you know, all the other Dune, like all those books get turned into movies.
Yeah.
I want to see that story told on the big screen. So I'm as guilty of anybody as wanting like to see an IP turn into a massive franchise like that.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm sure Warner Brothers is hoping for that as well.
Warner Brothers likes its franchises.
Well, I mean, but they all do.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Disney bought Marvel for just that reason. I mean, they didn't buy Marvel because they were interested in comic books.
Yeah. No,
you know,
I know.
I mean, you're talking about something that loses money on a regular basis. I mean, that's the comic book industry.
Right.
But, you know, Disney was buying Marvel Studios. Disney was buying the Avengers. That's what they wanted. You know, that's what they got.
Right.
And the same thing with Lucasfilm. I mean, they weren't buying it because they wanted the special effects department. They bought it because they wanted Star Wars. They wanted Indiana Jones. They wanted all that stuff. They didn't want to, you know, why try to figure out our own franchise when we can just buy one?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Nolan, indeed.
Saving the world.
He is.
One movie at a time.
He is. And he'll tell you all about it, too.
Oh, I know.
He has no problem blowing his own horn.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
The sad part is that, like, I'm going to line up for his next movie. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's a fucking genius. I mean, in all honesty, Oppenheimer is not. There's not a single car chase in that fucking movie. There's not a single action moment in that movie. It's nothing but nerds talking about theoretical physics.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the movie.
Yeah.
You know, and some nudity.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the movie. You know, essentially, like there's no, like there's nothing it's the beauty of Nolan taking that material and making it work.
Yeah.
You know, shooting the shit out of it, so to speak.
Right.
You know. So I mean, but it's like, but he does drive you nuts because you're just like, dude, we get it. You're special. We understand. Now shut up.
All right, shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth thinking they're a Batman movie.
All right. Yeah. Or don't.
Or don't, yeah.
I mean, you did wonderful with the second. And the first was good, too.
Yeah. You know what's rough? If you think about it. The Dark Knight Rises.
Uh-huh.
It's not that bad of a superhero movie.
Okay.
The problem is coming off the heels of The Dark Knight.
Yeah. How can you live up to that?
Like, yeah, it has problems. I'm not going to deny that, and it has holes, and there's a lot of issues with that movie. But when you compare it to the movie that shall not be named,
oh yeah,
it's far superior.
Far superior.
It's far superior to Batman Forever.
Oh, I agree.
It's Superman Returns, X3.
Yeah.
There are movies in that genre around that time period that it is much better than, but because it's following the Dark Knight,
right,
it had such massive shoes to fill. We look at it and just pathetic. And the reality is, it really isn't. It's just it's what it follows.
Yeah.
I'm as guilty of
that.
I
didn't think it was shot as well as the second.
Neither
or
do
the
I.
first.
Yeah. No, but overall, I mean this in all honesty. Even I've taken shots at that movie and laughed at it, and I have looked down at it you're pathetic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I really disassociate myself for a second, and I think about all the other movies that are kind of around that.
Right.
At that time.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a better movie than it really we make it out to be. It's just it follows on the heels of Heath Ledger as the Joker. Yeah. It follows on the heels of that amazing Two-Face. There's no way, none, that it could ever live up to that.
Right.
The only way that third movie could have is if Heath Ledger had lived.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And he had some kind of part to play in the third.
Right. Because that would be, how do you redeem Batman at that? Because that's the whole problem you have. Part of the biggest problem you have in that movie is, how do you redeem Batman?
Right.
And it would take a Joker-level villain to bring Batman back.
Right.
For the people to be yeah, we need fucking Batman. Where's he at? Where the fuck did he go?
Yeah.
This is one that takes on the loose again. That's the problem. There's no moment until the very end where Batman is redeemed.
Correct. Yeah, I agreed.
Even though the cops are chasing him. There's that massive heist scene at the Gotham Exchange, and the cops are chasing Batman, not the villains.
Right.
Because they want to get Batman. So it is that thing of looking back at it and trying to look at it with clear eyes. The problem with that movie is what it follows. But if you compare it to other comic book movies of that era,
right,
or before it, it's far superior to those movies.
I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah, but we do look down on that movie for some reason, just you make me sick.
You're not going to change my mind on it.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
I don't think it's a bad movie either. I just had a lot of problems with the movie.
Right. So and I have a lot of problems with it too.
Yeah.
But it becomes that thing.
It was a letdown, and I can say that it was a letdown. It was a letdown that movie was a letdown for me.
Right.
And I can go back and have that same mental, idea of what you're having. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
And I understand at the time, yes, it was good.
Compared to its contemporaries. But following The Dark Knight, it fails miserably.
It does fail miserably. But I also had problems with the way it was shot. Right. It was shot differently. It didn't even look like there were parts that looked Nolan-esque. Yeah. But there was a lot of parts in that movie that did not look like the other movies.
Right, I agree.
And that's what I had a really hard time digesting.
Right.
You know what I mean? I liked the characters okay. I could pick out a few things about Bane that I didn't like, but I liked Bane. Yeah. I thought he was a good villain. Right. I didn't have any issues, but I did have a problem with the way that movie was shot, especially the last fight scene. Yeah. That was horrible. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen on TV.
Right.
I mean, you get through this whole movie and you expect this gigantic something to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, there were certain parts that were very, like I said, Christopher Nolan.
Right.
Know? But other parts were just like, man, this is a studio back lot somewhere. I mean, I'm ready for Andy Griffith to come out. You know what I mean? Like, I could not appreciate it. Just couldn't.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to change your mind, but I am trying to, like...
your point is well taken. I understand about the movies that were out at that time. To what, if you're comparing it to them, yes, it was a good movie.
Yes. Right.
It just wasn't a good movie for me because I was expecting more.
Right. Right. I understand
and I didn't get more.
Right.
Yeah, so...
And my problems...
I just don't think it was a good end cap.
And my problems with it are always more along the lines of it's the point where I realize Nolan does not understand Batman.
Yeah.
Because Batman would not have gone and hidden away for 10 years with a boo-boo face.
Yeah.
You know, he would have still been out there fighting crime. He would have still been a vigilante.
But that was Nolan's take on him.
And then at the end, like, Batman wouldn't quit.
Right.
Like that end scene where Alfred's in the cafe and you know he looks across and he sees Bruce and Bruce is with Catwoman and you know he just kind of like gives him the nod, gets up and walks away. Like that would never have happened. The fight is never over. That's the thing Nolan will never understand about Batman. Christopher Nolan thought Bruce Wayne was the person and Batman was the mask. And it's the other way around.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Like, one of my favorite comic book, like, things is, like, it's Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. And they're all holding the lasso of truth. And, you know, Wonder Woman's like, my name is Diana Prince. Superman's like, my name is Clark Kent. And Batman, holding the lasso of truth, says, I'm Batman.
Nice.
Because he is.
Yeah.
He's not Bruce Wayne, he's Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is the mask. And Nolan never got that.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, even like in the second one, I glance over it, but like, when he's telling Maggie Gyllenhaal, her character, he's like, I can finally walk away. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You are fucking Batman.
For the rest of your life.
Yes. You don't understand who you are.
Right.
Nolan does not understand who you are. This fight will never fucking end for him.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the only thing that, like, about that entire trilogy that drives me nuts is Nolan didn't understand who the character was at the end.
Yeah.
He wrote 3 good movies, the third one having a bunch of plot holes, you know. But, like, even if, like, getting past, like, the whole, you know, Batman wouldn't have stopped, Batman wouldn't have had a boo-boo face, he wouldn't have hidden away for 10 years. Like you're right, like, you know, fixing the broken back by hanging from a rope. How the fuck did he get back into Gotham City? Like, there are, like, so many questions, like, you know, like, just like, okay, this motherfucker's got no money in the middle of Tibet. How the fuck did he get back to Gotham City?
All right.
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, there are problems with it. And you know, but, like, I thought the story Nolan tried to tell, the things that he took inspiration from, I liked a lot. And, again, looking back at it, it's superior to a lot of the other movies that came out in and around that time that we maybe even hold up a little bit.
Right.
You know, like you know, I don't know anybody who defends X3. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a bad movie, but like it's The Dark Knight Rises is much better than that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's stuff like that I look back on and it's like, man, maybe I'm a little too harsh for that movie. But still, like you said, like the expectation was so high for what that next movie was going to be. And you throw in like a Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
You know. All right then there, sir. Anything you'd like to add to the proceedings?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email. And that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search. You can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for your support.
Agreed.
And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.